There's a Shona proverb which says, kukura kurerwa, which means personal growth and wisdom are nurtured by community elders. In a country of 16 million people, I was one of 6 psychiatrists working in this space. Many people were suffering in silence with nowhere to go.
Ini ndichiri mudiki ndakatopinda mudambudziko rekufungisisa ndisati ndaziva kuti nditori mudambudziko rekufungisisa nekudawo kugara ndichirwara. Inini ndane over 20 years ndichiita basa rangu recounseling ekufriendship bench. Tinosangana nevanhu vanouya kubench vane matambudziko akasiyana siyana. Vamwe vane matambudziko ehurwere hwepfungwa chaiwo. Saka ini ndinokurukura nevanhu ivavo kuti pfungwa dzavo dziwane kugadzikana vadzokere panzvimbo.
Upenyu hwangu hwanga hwakaoma nekuti ndaishungurudzwa nemurume. Murume aindirova ndobva ndasvika pakufungisisa. Zvanga zvisina kundisunungukira kuti nditaure nevanhu vemunharaunda dambudziko randanga ndichisangana naro. Nokuti ukaudza vanhu vakawanda dambudziko raunenge uchisangana naro, masolutions aunopiwa anenge akawandisa. So ndainzwa kunge ndiri kurarama ndiri ndega nokuda kwedambudziko iri.
Kutrena kwandakaita kwakaita kuti ini chaiye ndive nekusimba, ndive neruzivo rwandakapiwa rwakandibetsera kuti ndikwanise kubetsera community iyo yange ine dambudziko rekufungisisa, uyezve ndikwanise kubetserawo mhuri yangu.
Pandakasangana nagogo for the first time yangu ndakanzwa kusununguka nenyaya yekuti dambudziko rangu ranga rakura zvokuti ndanda kufungisisa. Asi after ndataura nagogo ndakanzwa kurerukirwa. Even stress yanandinayo yakatosara yanani kuburikidza nekutaura kwandanga ndaita nawo.
Sezvo isu sanagogo tinenge takambofambawo nenzira iyoyo tichiona matambudziko akafanana nedambudziko raauya naro papeji.
Friendship Bench was born out of a tragic event during my formative years working as a psychiatrist at Harare Hospital, when I lost a patient of mine to suicide. Erica was her name. Erica didn't have the bus fare to come to the hospital to see me, which kind of highlights the big problem we have in this part of the world with access to evidence-based care. And so I embarked on this journey to try and bring evidence-based healthcare to communities across the country, and that was really the beginning. Zimbabwe has one of the highest suicide rates in the region, with most people needing urgent care for mental health services not being able to access those services. I had gotten into a desperate soul-searching journey, and it was during that time that I opened up to the grandmothers about my struggles, and their response was to sing for me, and then they prayed for me, and that was the beginning of my healing. It dawned on me that grandmothers were the custodians of the local culture and wisdom, and they were available in their communities, and they could possibly be that missing link to addressing this problem. We developed an 8-week program training grandmothers in the basics of cognitive behavioral therapy, but rooted in the culture of Zimbabwe, using indigenous knowledge around mental health. It consisted of kuvura pfungwa, opening the mind, kusimudzira, uplifting, and kusimbisa, to strengthen, which in essence are the 3 key pillars of Friendship Bench and the work that we do in Zimbabwe and beyond. The main reason why Friendship Bench works is because it's simple, it's cheap, and it's scalable. But above all, Friendship Bench creates space for people to feel comfortable with being vulnerable, because when people are in that space, that's when healing truly begins.
This community gave me purpose again in life. Yakandidzora mu community mandanga ndabuda. After my parents passed away, ndakabva ndatanga kumwa zvinodhaka ndichifungidzira kuti zvicharelieve stress, but zvakatozokonzera depression instead. Friendship bench yakandidzosa muvanhu, like ku community, because ndanda astray. Ndandangofunga zvinhu so I was, through the counseling and some activities that we do here, ndakwanisa kunotora the good, the bad, nekuti ndokwanisa kuona ari better without using drugs.
All of the grandmothers that are working with Friendship Bench are already community health workers that have already been identified by the government, and it therefore makes it much easier for us to come in and train them on this model.
Ndinonzwa kufara nokuziva kuti ndabetsera nharaunda. Iye pandamubetsera akasununguka, kureva kuti paachanosangana nemumwe anogona kumubatsira futi. Saka ndinobva ndanzwa kusimba pazviri.
The kind of language that we use when we talk to communities, we don't use like language that scares them, like depression and like schizophrenia. We use language like kufungisisa, which means overthinking. And therefore it makes people not scared to come forward, to talk about what they're going through. And the fact that they're talking to another member of the community is so great. They're talking to someone who feels human to them, someone who could have gone through the same thing that they are going through. And so it makes it more acceptable to communities. Since 2016, Friendship Bench has seen over 1 million people in all corners of Zimbabwe, both in the rural areas as well as in the urban setting. Friendship Bench is already present in 12 other countries, both in the African continent and overseas. We hope to see other governments adopting this model to expand mental health services for their citizens. I feel really honored and inspired to be working in this space because it makes such a difference to the welfare and well-being of individuals. It goes beyond physical well-being to mental well-being.